Yahar mateys, welcome to the seas. This is Damron. We're playing Sea of Thieves Season 4. We're into the Sunken Kingdom update, which has all kinds of new commendations, new shrines, underwater, some treasuries, a lot of cool stuff, and new treasures, coral treasures, a lot of things that we're going to get. And we're going to be going through all the commendations in this update. I'm splitting it up into several different guides because there's different shrines, each with their own kind of journal locations and all kinds of other commendations we need to get in this Sunken Kingdom section. In this particular video, we're going to cover the Shrine of Ocean's Fortune, and as I've mentioned in the previous shrine videos, as well as what I'm going to talk about with the treasury, keep in mind that the coral message in the bottles are the new message in the bottles that came with the update, and in these are the way that you find the breath of the sea treasures in the shrines and the treasuries. So when you pick these up, you're going to get a note and it'll say, you know, go to this location. This one says Treasury of the Wilds to find the breath of the sea. Now you can still go to these shrines and you can get the other coral loot as well as the journals. You can go to the treasuries and beat those. You can still go into them, but if you do not have an active coral quest where you go, then you won't be able to get the breath of the sea treasure at the end or somewhere in the middle of the shrine. So with that said, let's go ahead and start the Shrine of Ocean's Fortune, which is located at D14, just southeast of Mermaid's Hideaway. So as always, you know, it's indicated on your map, but also you'll see that kind of bright blue circle above where this shrine is, and you just jump in, dive in, and we're going straight down. And we're gonna go straight down on the north side. So when you get all the way to the bottom on the northern end of the shrine, now turn around and face the large structure, and you're going to see this door that you can swim in through this broken hole. Swim through that, and now we're going to enter the shrine. And this is a shrine that's full of a lot of levers and kind of parkouring. The first thing that we want to do is get our first journal. As soon as you enter into here, immediately on the right hand side in this wooden pile is our first journal. From this journal, we're going to progress to the back of this room where you're going to find a ladder. You can climb this ladder up to the kind of middle rock-like structure. Take this path up. You'll notice a locked brig right in front of you, but if you head around to the left, you'll see a pulley that you can interact with. Use that to pull this kind of platform all the way down, and now we can use that platform to jump across to this capstan here. From the capstan, our second journal is going to be into the left-hand room. If you kind of walk in here, you'll see a lever back on the back wall. Just to the left and some rocks before that lever is our next journal. After you've read journal number 2, go ahead and activate that switch that was right in front of you. That'll actually open that brig door that we saw earlier. That's going to help us kind of traveling a little bit later. There's also some treasure in that room back there. Feel free to grab that. There is one of the merfolk statues that you can give those treasures to collect at the end of the shrine. Nonetheless, once you raise the anchor, now we're going to be able to progress over these platforms that you weren't able to get to before. And when we get to the other side and climb this ladder, you'll kind of walk up this path here. Again, there is some treasure in this area as well. So just like the other shrines, feel free to collect that and then give those to those merfolk statues. But at the end of this pathway is another pulley that we can interact with that's going to lower a coral covered mast. So once we've lowered that, now we're going to go back to that capstan that we were just at. So see, we can kind of walk back through. Now we can go through this door that we previously opened, and now we're back into the area where that capstan was. You can see it right there. Instead of going that, keep going forward to the east to another ladder. We're going to climb that to another pulley system, and this pulley is going to bring the platform that we had originally lowered back up. So you want to take this platform all the way back up to the top. And now if we can kind of continue around this path, you're going to walk along this mast here, and we can jump on that platform. And from this platform, we can now access the mast that we lowered, the coral cover mast that we lowered, to get to the next section of this particular shrine. So once you cross over into the next section, you are going to fight a little bit of coral skeletons. Not very many, just a couple. But once you dissipate those guys, now we're in the same room. We're going to progress forward just a little bit. And our next journal is going to be right up the path here. Before you cross this wooden bridge, look to the left, right in kind of, in front of this grayish white coral. And you should see it right there on the ground. It's kind of difficult to see unless you're looking right at it. But anyway, after we've gotten the third journal, now we can kind of progress into the shrine a little bit further. We're going to cross the wooden bridge, and there's going to be an anchor that you can lower, but it's going to lower very slowly. And as it's lowering, these two platforms that you're seeing here are actually going to spin around, and you need to time it so you can jump from one to the other and get to the other side. So, you know, if you do miss it, obviously you're gonna have to walk all the way back up, but it's not too bad of a jump. And eventually you're gonna ride this all the way around to the other side. Generally there's a coral enemy up there that you're gonna have to kill. But once you kill him, now you're on the other side, and we can kind of progress up the path, up the coral, and make our way on into this shrine. And up here are, you know, again, more treasure that you can find. You can carry this. You'll have to kind of carry it forward a little ways. You know, you take it across this mast, but this is the way that you have to go. But when you get up here, you see there'll be more treasure here that you can collect. So feel free to collect all of that. And after you do, you'll have to go across another mast. Across that mast is the stone, you know, merfolk statue that you can store those treasures in. So feel free to collect all that, and once you've collected all your treasure and you're ready to move on, head up the ladder that's just to the right of that statue and progress on into the next part of the shrine, which is, you know, the second to last part. We're kind of in the second tier of the shrine. The first thing that you want to do when you get into this area of the map is know where the Breath of the Sea Shrine location is. And it's right there to the left. If you go to the left, it's right here. But keep in mind, you have to have a coral bottle quest in order for those to spawn there. And from that actual location, if you just turn around and look to the northwest, you'll see this broken ship hall. At the end of that ship hall is our fourth journal, I Have Failed You. So let's just go ahead and, you know, for ease sake, we'll go back to the entrance of this room. Again, over there's that, you know, coral where you could get the Breath of the Sea. And now we're just going to progress up the path. Again, there is some treasure in here. There's some over in that ship hall. And behind me, you can collect all that. There's a stone merfolk up here that you can give all this loot to. But once you've kind of got all the loot, you've, you know, got your journal, we pretty much just go right through that into the last section of the shrine, which is like a vertical mast-like section. There's going to be some sirens in here that you're going to have to deal with, so go ahead and kill those. And once you've done that, now we're kind of ready to do the final room, which is essentially this large mast that we're going to be using captain wheels to spin. So head up this path here, and you're going to come to a captain wheel, and you're basically going to be turning this central mast, and we're going to do this on several levels. The first level, we just need to put this larger platform with the 3 2x4s just to our right here so that we can kind of jump across the gap and get to the other side. That's the simple jump that you need to make there. And once you've done that, you'll head around to a second captain wheel. This captain wheel, we need to turn the mast so essentially the mast is heading, you know, kind of pointing straight at us, because we need to go all the way across to the other side. So it's heading kind of, you know, the mast is pointing in the northeast direction. So now we can jump on that and we'll head across to the other side. And once you get to the other side, there's going to be a ladder here that we can climb. Go ahead and climb that ladder, and you're going to see the third captain wheel that we are going to use. Once you get on this captain wheel, we're going to need to turn this platform all the way to where this, you know, these 3 2x4s that are perpendicular to the mast, we need to use that as a platform to get to the kind of furthest away to the right. So you need to have it a distance from you because it's quite a long jump. So put it about halfway so that you can get to this platform here. And this platform here is the fourth and the final wheel. So you need to look up a little bit. And what we want to do is we want to have the long end, or the non-broken end of this mast, kind of pointing to this left hill here. Okay, so now that we've done that, we can get our fifth journal by crossing this last mast. And when we land over here, you're going to see another merfolk statue, but to the right is an angulated kind of ship hall. Head to the back of that, and right in front of this blue coral is our fifth and final journal. So we've gotten all the secrets. There's a bunch of treasure in here that you're going to want to give to that merfolk statue right in front of us. But I do want to show you one last thing that you can easily miss in this shrine, and that's a chest of ancient tributes. So as you're collecting all of your treasure, one of the things that you definitely want to grab is if you go into that ship hall where that fifth journal was, and go up this hill and actually jump up to the crow's nest up here. from here you can actually jump across, and you'll see this kind of, you know, the roof of the hall here, and up there is actually a chest of ancient tributes. So you definitely want to grab that and then give that to the statue. You're going to be able to go back up now and collect all the loot that you had. So we've gotten all the commendations associated with the Shrine of Ocean's Fortune. I hope you guys found that helpful as always, and hopefully I'll see you on the seas.